So they took their existing channels and created a whole bunch of new products to deliver through those channels. And more so than creativity, we've seen people just take something from sort of, nascent idea into execution in like almost no time.
Hello, and welcome to another episode, a very different episode of Dial It Up. With me, as always, I don't know where they are on the screen, but they're somewhere. I got Jordan Wilson.
Hi, friends.
Miss Julia Cook.
Welcome to my home.
We're going to get to that in just a couple minutes. And then finally, Mr. Patrick Crawford.
My hand or someone else's?
Oh.
It's mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew, man.
Good.
So how's everybody doing? Julia, thank you for welcoming us into your home. Well, we're going to welcome in Mr. Jordan Smith, and Jordan's going to tell us a little bit about what he does here at Scorpion for those on our audience who don't know. There he is.
Hey, he's down here.
For me, he's right here. I don't know where he is for everyone else.
Okay, so Jordan Smith, you are you run our franchise team here at Scorpion, so it's a big responsibility. And I know there's been a lot of tough times, and there's still a lot of tough times. What are some bright spots you've seen over the last few weeks since this all started?
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. There's been several bright spots, and some of them were really unexpected. Our conversations with our clients have changed a lot in the past few weeks. Primarily they're around their advertising and what strategy that they're wanting to move forward with or what we're recommending. And today, a lot of those conversations are much more personal. As franchisees have cut back what they're doing online and advertising, some of them had to shutter their doors altogether. We're still having conversations with most of those clients. And it's how are your kids doing? Everybody healthy? What are you doing to, spend your time while everybody's at the house? And so conversations have gotten much more human and personal, which has been really great, because I think one of the strongest things about the franchise business is the community that's there and everybody being interconnected. And this struggle that everyone's been in has really brought out the best in people. And we've seen franchisees supporting other franchisees, franchisors step up and offer the leadership that all of those small business owners are needing right now, which has been really, really incredible. And then lastly, I think businesses that can't operate the way they normally do, but they don't have to shut their doors, them figuring out, how do I make money right now? And some of them have gotten really creative on how to continue to meet their customer needs and to keep their employees employed. So it's been really cool.
I noticed that we've got a guest waiting. John, there he is.
What's happening?
Not my mic out of the way.
My dear friend, John Teza. John is a partner at NRD Capital. John and I are also on IFA's convention committee. I get to sit right next to him, which is dangerous for all involved during those meetings. And then we text each other like once a day. So I feel like our friendship is at least 7 out of 10. And I'll let John take it away.
I remember times when we could sit next to people.
Yes, exactly. See, there are some aspects of social distancing I wish were in place pre-COVID, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Hey, so we've got a couple of other guests we're gonna drop in. So let's see if we can. Yeah, there she is.
Hi, Nancy.
What's up?
Happening.
Nancy Bigley. Oh, look who else we got. Miss Saunda Kitchen.
All right.
She's connecting. She's connected.
Hey guys.
Hi, Saunda.
Welcome.
What's up, man? This is like a party. So we're almost to like a full-on choir. We can just do our own version of the Hamilton song together.
I'm so in. Let's do
I'll
it.
be happy to start.
Yeah, so ladies, thank you for popping in. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking.
So just Nancy, let's start with you. Tell us just a little bit, just give us a high level, how are you doing?
So, it's been rough for sure. We've got, we're a painting and wine party franchise. So we are a social gathering destination, which isn't allowed anymore.
No.
Can't have fun anymore. So that kind of put a damper on things. We are pretty much 100% closed at this point. And, I think the first thing that we really focused on was communication with our franchisees. That was paramount because, we were freaking out. They were freaking out. Everybody, right? Like we all were having this issue of what the heck's going on and how does that affect us and what do we do next? And it all happened very quickly. So that was really paramount, was sort of stabilizing our franchisees, keeping them calm, and trying to understand what the heck was happening, how it was going to affect our business, what did we need to do immediately, how was that going to cascade across the country? Because I think that was again, we're all going through the same thing, so this is something everybody's going through. But it's trying to understand and lead through inconsistency from market to market. Even within a state, it was inconsistent from market to market. So I was trying to really assess as quickly as possible from an operations perspective, what is my guidance to my franchisees in each market to be able to sort of, move through what we could move through, while we, in the meantime, on the back end at the headquarters side, we're trying to figure out, once the revenue stream shut down, which we knew was going to happen across the country, it was very quickly that was going to happen. What could we do to help add additional revenue streams for our franchisees?
Yeah. So John, I know you own a bunch of different concepts at NRD. Tell us a little bit about some of the things you guys have done on the franchise level, just to help communicate, the actions they should be taking and how you're talking with customers, things like that.
Yeah, we're fortunate. We've got great management teams in each one of our companies, and we had really great leadership at the fund level that got us sort of moving in a forward direction very early, not too dissimilar from what Nancy's talking about. And so we were able to very quickly get some very clear-eyed models in place that quite frankly, we none of us can do this sort of for an indeterminate amount of time. But for the most part, all of our portfolio companies have enough runway that if this is a protracted event, that we're going to be able to make it. Our Frisch's company very quickly launched a pantry. So we're fortunate that even though it's a family dining concept, every one of them has a drive-through. So we're still doing about 50% of our pre-crisis business through the drive-through. But they rolled out a pantry concept, and they're actually selling sundries and key essential items through a restaurant drive-through. It's brilliant. At Fuzzy's, Fuzzy's Taco Shop is a great sort of cheap tacos and cold beer positioned Mexican kind of fast casual hybrid. And so it was well within their brand license and their positioning license to leverage the state of Texas and Colorado and Florida allowed for the delivery of alcohol. They very quickly leveraged that, and they're now back to about 50, maybe 55% of their pre-crisis business. They also done a ton of things with like the development of family meals and alternative products around family meals. So they took their existing channels and created a whole bunch of new products to deliver through those channels. And more so than creativity, we've seen people just take something from sort of nascent idea into execution in like almost no time.
So Saunda, thanks for joining back in.
Yeah,
I was asking Nancy and John to tell us a little bit about things that they've done and actions they've taken. John from an investor perspective, Nancy from a franchisor perspective. So you own a Mr. Rooter and have for a long time. Talk to us a little bit about how this is impacting your business and the things you've been focused on.
We immediately enacted hazard pay for our team members. We enacted a volunteer work basis. So obviously we're out there in the front line, and it's not necessarily easy to deal with, things when you're in a pandemic and you're like, oh, by the way, go be with the people, that to shelter in place from. So we implemented those things. We definitely, so the volunteer and work status is, if you're not comfortable working or you are fearful working or you have high risk family members in your home, then, you don't have to work. So that, it was about the people, try to take care of the people. And then when we realized that our business was dropping, 40 and 50% week by week, which is not horrible compared to some, right? Some of us don't have any income coming in. We, instead of pulling back with marketing, we doubled down our efforts. We're a 40% increase right now with all of our campaigns, not just digital, but just trying to, what we tell the team, survive so that we can thrive later.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just doing every day. We wake up and I look at my service board to see, what do we have today? Do we have one call today? Because all I need to do is I need to get them opportunities, you know?
Yeah.
And opportunities, as we all know, are costly and few and far between, you know, as time goes on.
Yeah. What, from your perspective, John, what's the value of being a part of a franchise in a situation like this?
There's probably many. There's two that come to mind right off the top of my head. The first is that a franchisor hopefully can have access to more resources, intellectual capital, and sort of the ability to deploy. And a good franchisor should be aiming to do that right now for their franchisees. So, case in point, and Fuzzy's is our biggest franchise system. We drove some cash modeling tools down to them pretty quickly. We did it ourselves, right? It's kind of like the airplane, right? You put your mask on, and before you put the mask on somebody next to you. So we did it ourselves, and then we took a tool and we drove it down to our franchisees that allowed them to take a clear-eyed view of what the next 13 weeks looks like. Most franchisors that that we're aware of have had access to really good information around like the assistance programs, the relief programs, the CARES Act and the PPP, and are driving those resources into the field. So a good franchisor in this case should be driving significant resources to their franchisees that they may otherwise have had, or maybe they didn't have at all. Right. So that's number one. The second is brand. We're hearing more and more, and you guys probably know this better than anybody, that in this really difficult period, consumers are aligning more tightly with brands that they know and they trust.
Yes.
And so I'm sorry for you. I know your restaurant was incredibly important to you, and but the reality is that consumers in many marketplaces are aligning with organizations that they have a deep history with, which oftentimes means branded businesses. And so I think those are the two things that sort of come to the top of my head.
Okay. Nancy, similar question to you. What's the benefit of being a part of a franchise organization through this whole situation?
Yeah, I think, sorry for the doggies.
That's all right. Hey, this is part of the realness, right?
It's like, whatever. My franchisees actually know my dog's names now because we do video calls every day.
Awesome.
So we're all part of the family. So
what are your dog's names?
Casper and Kia. Casper's the psycho white one that just ran by. He's not a friendly ghost either, but so I think real similar to Teza, like I felt, kind of on day one after sort of the shock and awe wore off, it was like, look, this is what we get paid for. Like, we have to be the strongest leaders we can possibly be starting today. And this is where being part of a franchise really pays off. And so we, as really many of my franchisors friends are doing as well. It's like, you are on deck 24/7. Like, we are available to our franchisees 24/7, text, video, phone calls, email, whatever they need. But the bigger win is, look, like, we're super focused. My job as chief operating officer is operations and really just, cost controls and driving profitability to the franchisees. So I've been uber focused on how can I save them money right now? So whether it's through coaching, like things that they can do at a personal level, whether it's negotiating down either deferments or abatements or forgiveness with our partners that we have, our vendor partners who have been amazing in really helping us. Because look, even if it's $15 a month, like, that adds up over multiple accounts, right? And we've been able to get much larger than that. So that has been a huge focus for me personally in driving, costs away from them. I've also been really diving into all of the funding options for them. That has become almost my full-time job because it's insane, and there's amazing opportunities out there. But if the government doesn't understand all the rules and regulations and how it works, how is a franchisee supposed to understand that? So we do daily calls, all video, just like this. Every single day with our franchisees. We did them through the weekend at the beginning, the first week and a half, because they just needed constant contact every single day. They were freaking out. So we've been able every day, it's anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour. And we boil down, like, what's new today? Like, what do you need to be focused on today? What are the new regulations? Because they're changing every single day and it's frustrating for them. So I've been super focused on helping them get through the lending process. So we're, I think, really ahead of the game there. Our CMO, who is freaking a rock star, and our marketing team has been working on the revenue side. So they've been looking for opportunities. And we started on day one with, okay, how do we do takeout kits? So if people aren't going to be able to come in at a very short pace, like how do we get people to take our stuff home? So we started that like within days of this happening. So that was a great revenue stream until shelter in place happened, which we knew that was going to start cascading. So while we were executing that new channel, we were working on the next channel, which was virtual. So virtual painting events launched the next week. And then we were working on the next one, which we just launched this week, which is ship to home kits. So we're, that's not something that you're going to get if you're not part of a franchise. And even if you are a part of a franchise, sometimes depending on your model, it's hard to move that quick. And I told our franchisees the other day, I'm like, look, we just rolled out 3 new programs that it would normally take us a year to do. And we did it in 3 weeks. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be pretty. Like, just know going into it, like we didn't get it all right. Like you're going to catch stuff that we didn't do right. But as long as you're setting the proper expectation, they so appreciated that. So we're really just, all of us on our team are just pushing outside of our comfort zones. We all have areas of expertise. And so we're pushing on everything that we know, no matter where it falls, like wherever somebody can jump in and help, we're jumping in and helping renegotiate leases, talk to landlords. I just came off of a webinar we did there. And then, like I said, the communication, we really cranked it up, and everything we changed, is around what's happening today. But then I think we're really going to show value is on the relaunch, right? Like we've got to now be, that's what we're working on now. Like we had to stabilize and get at least some revenue coming in, because I don't know if it was Saunda or John that mentioned it, but a lot of what we have to focus on right now is keeping the hope alive. If franchisees don't feel hope, they're going to give up and shut down. And so all these things we're doing, while they certainly don't replace, the volume that we had before, it's hope. And it gives them something to keep busy, keep their mind focused. I feel that way. I feel less stressed because I have a plan, man. Like I am on it. I know what I need to do, and I'm doing it every single day. And once people have a plan and they can action against it, they feel so much better. And as a franchisor, that's our job. Our job is to keep them very focused on what is immediate right now and where they can have impact on their business. And that is huge. And again, you don't get that if you're just sort of out there, trying to do it on your own, unless you're Saunda, because she's a rock star. So,
Right.
I missed that part. I'll have to catch that on the replay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll see.
Okay.
So Saunda, I do want to get some feedback. So you're on you're a franchisee, obviously. So from your perspective, give us some insight. What's it like what's the benefit of being part of a franchise in a situation like this?
I mean, a couple of points on that is, Teza mentioned it, is my perspective is we're going to lose a lot of our competitors through this. And I want to be positioned well when we are able to be over that side. So our brand awareness is big. Another thing too is that, yes, being an active member in IFA, I was smarter than our banker. I mean, I was like, okay, here's the loan I want. Here's when I have all the applications there. Whoa, stand by. I don't even, we don't have any of our marching orders yet. And so that was a interesting hurry up and wait scenario, but it also gave us time to connect to our other franchisees. So, we're in chat rooms and we, share this, our Facebook groups and all of that, and realizing that we're just here to beef each other up, because you're exactly right. All of you mentioned, like, we're leaders in all of our brands and all of our industries, and we bring the hope, right? We bring the growth mindset. We bring the reminder that even though this is a temporary situation, it is not our permanent reality. And we have to make sure that our team members understand that even if we can't see what our, future is yet, this is still a very temporary situation that we're working through together. And so that's been super helpful. Being part of our brand is just connecting with, some Mr. Rooter owners. Like, one of us will have a bad day, right? We'll put on our thing like, damn, like, how do I bring it today? I got nothing left. I got nothing. And so you just, you do what you can to support each other, whether it's sending those little, YouTube videos or any little memes that's funny and fun. because, optimism is where we have to be. Entrepreneurs, people that make payroll, we're optimistic in general, even when we have to shut down. That doesn't just go away. And it doesn't say that we're not in tune with what reality is, but it is our job to continue to maintain that hope like Biggs is talking about.
That was awesome. I saw Julia. I was looking over at Julia as some of the things that you were saying, Saunda, about optimism and staying hopeful. And I just saw Julia just getting excited because Julia amongst a lot of things, a role she plays at Scorpion very well is she's just the eternal optimist.
Yeah,
and she's constantly in front of people talking about it with that big smile that she's got right now, but just keeping people's eye on the prize, like looking ahead, things will get better.
Yeah.
We're going to come out ahead on the other side of this. So
no, I mean, we will. It has an end, and we will get through there. And that's the message that I'm saying every day because I believe it. I really do.
All right. So this has been a lot of fun. I would just like to say to each of you on the phone, Scorpions and non-Scorpions, how much I genuinely appreciate the friendship. And of course, the work that we get to do together is one thing, but I think there's one thing that this has all taught us is just the importance of relationships and having good ones in our lives. And each of you guys have been just incredible support systems day in and day out for me. And I really, really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. So I think that'll do it for this time. Thank you guys for joining us on Dial It Up. And we will be back soon, hopefully with a live studio audience next time, Patrick.
This is actually our livest audience we've ever had.
It is.
Yeah.
But be sure to keep joining in and tuning in. We really appreciate you. Take care. Stay inside. Stay home as long as we need to do so we can get past this and get back to some level of normalcy. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Whose hands are these?
All right.
Hi, friends. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that episode of Dial It Up, we'd love it if you would click that subscribe button right there and also hit that little bell. It's going to notify you of all new episodes. So come back, hang out with us. We want you to watch. See ya.